Hello everyone, welcome to Scorched Earth Toys at anymoon.com's assembly and transformation guide for Bandai's Macross Quarter toys. To begin, you're going to want to start by assembling your display stand. The display stand comes together like so. It's pretty simple. Take the base, insert the arm, insert the leg support. Now you'll see there's an angle here that you have to match up with an angle on the arm. So simply line up and press down, and then there's a hammerhead looking part. You just slide that forward into the grooves like so. So now you have something to put your cruiser mode toy on once you've got that assembled. Alright, let's begin by installing the bridge. Here's the bridge. You note there's a ball joint at the base of it. There is a hole on the top of the ship. The ball joint just slips right in. While I've got the ship turned over like this, let's get the legs in the proper position. Just pull them out and then bring them back. There's a rotation point at the knee. So you're bringing it out and then bringing it back, and that will get the kneecaps then to flare out for you. So now you've got the legs in their proper position. Now while we're here, there is a radar array that just pegs right in behind the bridge like so. And then we have these gun towers. They have little guns that are made of PVC on the top. Fold over, and those guns will go into this slot here. And then you have this gray piece that folds right up as well. Now you have a peg. You can see there's a slot on the side of the bridge area. You just peg that right in. And then obviously you need to do it again for the other piece. Very quick, very easy. Alright, so now we're ready to focus on the front end of the craft. The toy comes with both articulated and fixed posed hands. You're going to want to take the articulated hands and articulate them so that the thumb lies over the fingers. It's no wider out, it's just lined up like so. That's going to create a slot that a ship will peg into later. And then there's a ball socket on the end, just goes right on the ball on the wrist. Same thing over here, obviously. So you get those hands installed, and then you want to bring forward these guards like so. And then you have little trap doors on the forearm that just open up. Having some fingernails here will come in handy. So there you go, I've got the trap doors opened up. And now you are ready to take your ships and install them. So here's the gunship. It's got a peg in the back that just comes out like so. And this peg will go into that forearm slot, and this will go into the hand slot. So again, make sure your thumb isn't flared out, it's just right on top. Bring the back peg into the forearm. You should see the hand sliding into this groove here. And you apply pressure downward. And you know everything's worked out good with the gunship when it's laying flush against the forearm and the guard in the front is flush against the front. So that's all good. You're going to just do the same thing with the aircraft carrier. Peg in the back that comes out. I usually have a little bit harder time with this one, so we'll just see if I can't do it. Peg in the forearm, peg in the hand, definitely not lined up just right. Come on. Okay, there it goes. So just a little wiggle jiggle getting it over the hand there. And now you have your vehicle assembled and in cruiser mode. Unfortunately, this toy is kind of useless in cruiser mode without being on the display stand. So the display stand has a couple little pegs that go into the legs, and also a couple little pegs in the front that slide into the arms, as well as a little notch here that connects to the waist. So if you get all of those parts lined up, the toy should hold on pretty tightly to the display stand and let you make sure you've got all of the various limbs that kind of come pretty far out in the proper position. So try to begin by lining up this middle section. There you go, clicked into place for me. You can get your arms kind of just resting where you know they're going to go. But I would focus on the legs next. And so mine have fallen right directly into place, so I know my legs are good. And then the arms, you want to angle. They should be about even. You get them parallel to the ground. Now, show you what's going on there. There are slots in the bottom of the arms that are going into that display stand. And that is holding everything out and forward. Now, here's something. This part has popped out, and that's allowed the arm to come forward. That arm should be back, and then when this piece is in place, it locks that metal slider in the rear position. So in cruiser mode, you should always have this gray piece behind that screw right there. The toy comes with 2 support arms for the front ships. In cruiser mode, I find them to be entirely useless unless you're messing around with the elevators on the aircraft carrier. Then the weight you push down might push down on the aircraft carrier and jostle things. Otherwise, you probably won't use them. But when you're ready to transform to the next mode, you might want them there. So there's these extension pieces that Bandai gives you, and then you just move the arms up. As you can see, they are now much taller. To convert the display stand to the next mode, just slide out the arm, slide off the front hammerhead piece, slide off the back leg supports. You're not going to need those anymore. And then rotate the arm and slide it back on. And now, like with those little arms for the front, we get a extension piece that will make the display stand taller. And then you have, again, you just slide on that hammerhead piece to support the front of the toy. Alright, you're going to want to pay very close attention here because this transformation is really complicated. You're going to take the toy. Here it is looking at the bottom of it. You're going to bring the legs down. And then you're going to bring them forward at the knee. And you're going to splay the legs out. And then you're going to take the toy and you're going to put it on the display stand. Same idea, just get that crotch on the center part, and then the arms will find their notches. Okay, now you open the feet. Obviously you could have done this at any other point, but these arms are so unwieldy with those carriers on them that it's kind of tough to deal with. So you get the feet open, and you are now in some weird halfway to attack mode position. And Bandai considers this a new mode. Not really sure how you figure. There you go. You are in whatever mode this is. Alright, so I've done a little touching up. I've found that some of the arm, or one of the arms had slid forward, so I pushed that back again like I had to do in cruiser mode. I've got those arms out supporting the arms of the toy, although really they're not entirely necessary here either, like they weren't really necessary in cruiser mode. I would begin transformation to attack mode by just removing the aircraft carrier and the gunship. That's going to make your life a lot easier not to have to deal with those. Just push that peg forward, and then just take the toy and remove it from the display stand. And now you're really ready to get started. Alright, we're currently looking at the butt of the last mode. And what we're going to do is we're just going to hold this point here and lift up. And you'll see that there's a slot here that had pegged into that position there. And so we've now freed up the waist from the toy. And we can bring it down. It's on a metal swing arm. We're going to bring it forward, bring the legs down. So bring the legs down like so. Bring the waist forward. And now you can see you're going to have to push the toy back. And then it will peg together. And now you've got the waist of your craft for attack mode. Alright, now we're going to focus on the arms. Let's close up our forearm slots. Let's bring back our elbow guards. And then you can see there is a slot right here where the arms can actually swing upward. So I'm going to bring the arm and rotate it upward. And now you can see the path it just traveled along right there. No. It's a little difficult to rotate it without moving that track. But certainly not impossible. There, now I've got the arms at least up where the shoulders should be. I've mentioned this a couple times during this transformation video, but now you can pop this piece out and the arm will slide forward, and then you pop or you swing this piece forward and lock it into place. It's now past that screw. So it was back here, it now is in front of that. So same thing on the other side. Pull this back, slide the arm forward, slide this whole piece forward, and there you go. Okay, so now we just have to rotate the shoulders outward, bring the arms down, and rotate the arms forward, and they're more or less in position. Alright, now earlier we had moved this gray piece into its position. Let's do the forward side now. It just swings back and over like so. And then we rotate the toy around. We bring these weapons towers straight down. And then everything just folds upward. Like so. I could certainly reinstall the carrier and the gunship if I wanted to. I'm not going to do that again in this video since it's exactly the same process. To convert the stand, you just remove these parts. You no longer need them. Bandai gave you another piece that's specific for attack mode. And obviously it's a longer arm for the taller craft. There are two pegs involved here. One that fits right on the right behind the crotch, and a second one that pegs into the slot that was used to connect the waist of the toy to the top of the toy in cruiser mode. So you just line everything up, sit it down on that peg. There it goes. And then line up that peg in the top and apply a little pressure up there. And once that falls into place, everything will kind of line up. And then you've got your toy, which is not a very light toy, on the display stand, like so. Alright, one last feature to discuss. Bandai gave you the ability to attach the carrier to the back of the ship in attack mode. So to do that, I think it'd be easier if I just pull this off. You have these towers on the back. You get this piece that comes with the toy, and that piece kind of clicks in like so. Then you have a second piece that piece clicks in on. I might have just done this backwards. Oh, no, there it goes. Alright, so then you have this piece, and you can see it attaches at kind of an angle there. You can reinstall it on the toy now. And then you have your carrier. And the carrier, you want that peg out, like as if you were putting it back on the forearm. That peg is going to go into this top slot. The little peg goes into the bottom slot. And you just do it by applying pressure forward here. If I can pull it off. There you go. So now I have my carrier stowed as I attack. Alright, check out anymoon.com for my full review. Thanks for viewing.